In 2017, the city of Johannesburg established what we call the Academy for Chartered Accountants training program. This is a training implemented in collaboration with SAICA to increase the availability of skilled finance professionals within the city. It is a 3-year training program designed to create professional training opportunities for prospective chartered accountants. The city of Johannesburg, as a world-class African city, seen the value of this program when it comes to much-needed financial sustainability. The Group Governance Department is on a mission to increase the number of trainee accountants to assist the municipality and other sister municipalities across the country in its financial sphere when delivering services to its citizens. This training program is unique as it exposes trainees to public sector entities that are operated by people within private sector experience, and they are able to provide a fertile training ground for new entrants to the profession. The previous training officer in the city, Mr. Kidini, is in our midst as well, who is currently the acting MD at Metrobus, and his team have worked very well, very hard to help young black finance professionals to build their skills, competencies, and increase their opportunities to grow within the public sector. Today, we are handing over certificates of completion for 4 trainees that qualified through the COJ program to become chartered accountants. And I'm going to call them. The first one is Lucky Sangweni, Mlando Mhlanga, Tumelo Pehlane, Siamtanda Kupeka. To date, 9 trainees have been signed off by the Academy for Chartered Accountant Training Office in the city. 5 of which have been retained within the city. 9 trainees were signed off, and 5 of them have been retained in the city. Therefore, a special thank you. This goes to the current acting training officer, Mr. Togazani Chabalala, whom, by the way, was the first trainee accountant signed off by the COJ program, for the continued support and onboarding of the newly appointed trainee accountants and the staff within the training office, all reviewers across the city, the CFOs. This program is dependent on their knowledge and skills and continued support to enhance the finance profession within the city of Johannesburg. And this will also address the challenges around the clean audit space. And this program was conceptualized in 2015, and that team was led by MMC, who was responsible for GCSS, former Councillor Mali Mkwen, and she's also in our midst. I would like to recognize her contribution to the development of young people and the talent in the city of Johannesburg. Ausmali, Mamumali, Gogo, Rahadi. Would you please come on stage and join the newly qualified chartered accountants? You will appreciate that structurally this program, yes, is conceptualized and incubated within group governance, but structurally it's a program that ordinarily should be led, or rather led, by the GCSS MMC. I would like to request MMC Loiso Masuku to come forward and hand over the certificates. And the executive mayor. MMC Finance. This side. Thank you. Thanks, Chief.
Fast. Too many meals.
Thank you very much. We are now moving to human settlements, MMC Leach, COSEC, Josh Co, Company Secretary.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Before I proceed, I'd like to just indicate that from the non-executive directors, I'm joined by our CFO, Ms. Nontobeko Ndimande, and our COO, who's the acting CEO, as our CEO is currently in school for today. Thank you. And I'd also like to just apologize in advance for any errors in pronunciation of the new members. Executive Mayor, MMCs, City Manager, Board members, I will now read the resolutions relating to the election, re-election, resignation, and retirement of directors and independent audit committee members. Retirement of directors, ordinary resolutions. It is resolved that the retirement of the following board members on 1 March 2023 as non-executive directors of the company be and is hereby noted, accepted, and confirmed. Ms. Gebi Buikanyo, Mr. Jason Sobekwa, Dr. Kenze Sisile, Mr. Theodore Dlamini, Mr. Moerani Maimani, Mr. Sumesh Varghese, Mr. Karabo Mudipani, and Mr. Xolani Dlwati. Resignations of directors, ordinary resolution. It is resolved that the resignation of the following non-executive director, Mr. Themba Mamba, on 9 December 2022 be noted and confirmed. Election of directors, ordinary resolution. It is resolved that Sydney Jacob James is hereby appointed as a non-executive director of the company and chairperson of the board as approved by the mayoral committee on 1 March 2023 until the next AGM and or special general meeting, subject to the maximum renewable terms as set out in the City of Johannesburg Group Shareholder Policy on governance of the group advisory committees, municipal entities, boards of directors, and independent audit committees 2021. It is resolved that the following are hereby appointed as non-executive directors of the company as approved by the mayoral committee on 1 March 2023 until the next AGM and or special general meeting, subject to the maximum renewable terms as set out in the City of Johannesburg Group Shareholder Policy on governance of the group advisory committees, municipal entities, boards of directors, and independent audit committees 2021. Marlies Kelsey Francis, Tabani Manene, Andres Jacobus Smith, Simon Clark, Umpimetse Mukhosi, Yolandi Erasmus, Jacques Watson, Simon Sipeu Masemola, Terry Tselani, Simpiwe Pritimnisi. Ordinary resolution, it is resolved that the appointment of Mr. Mulapane Silomututwana as the Executive Director of the company, effective from 12 September 2022, be noted and confirmed. Election, re-election, resignation, and retirement of independent audit committee members. Retirement of independent audit committee members, ordinary resolution. It is resolved that the retirement of Mr. Jason Sobekwa, Mr. Mushupi Mukhobinyani, Mr. Liseja Matseha, Mr. Shipola Khoza on 1 March 2023 as independent audit committee members of the company be and is hereby noted, accepted, and confirmed. Election of independent audit committee members, ordinary resolution. It is resolved that the following are hereby appointed as independent audit committee members of the company as approved by the mayoral committee on 1 March 2023 until the next AGM and or special general meeting, subject to the maximum renewable terms as set out in the City of Johannesburg Group Shareholder Policy on governance of the group advisory committees, municipal entities, boards of directors and independent audit committees 2023. Victor van der Merwe, Abu Bakar Taousi, Geraldine Low, Pilekile Buloto. Thank you. May I invite all the new members to come on stage? As well as our CFO and acting CEO, Mr. Themba Matibe.
Thank you. We are now moving to Transport Department, MMC. We'll start with Roads, JRA. Cossack. You're gonna be okay, yeah?
Yeah, I'll be sorted. Right. Executive Mayor, MMCs, Councillors, City Manager, Board of Directors, CEO, Executive Directors, MDs, colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, I'm here to read the resolutions for the Johannesburg Roads Agency. Resignations, retirement of directors, ordinary resolution. Resolve that the retirement of the following non-executive directors be and is hereby noted, accepted, confirmed. Mr. Tiane Sambo, Ms. Hazel Mtimkulu, Mr. Thabo Mutlawung, Dr. Nompumelelo Mkhize, Mr. Tsepo Petla, Ms. Boitumelo Mohatle, Mr. Innocent Mtembu, Mr. Silva Bapela, and Dr. Msizi Mieza. Elections of directors, ordinary resolutions. Resolve that Charles Cilliers be and is hereby appointed as the chairperson of the board until the next AGM and/or special meeting. Resolve that the following directors have been appointed in terms of Section 66 of the Companies Act to perform their duties, responsibilities as stipulated by the Companies Act, Municipal Management Act, Municipal Systems Act, and the King 4, Charles Cilliers, Alvano Francis, Dr. Ravendran Govender, Nkosana Tambo, Mapalema Mohobo, Sharon Cleanboy, Siposetu Mtazeli, Cleopatra Lawrence, Alice Puka, Daniel Nyamazane, Zenzo Kuhle Xaba. Ordinary resolutions. Resolve that Mr. Louis Neal is hereby retained as an acting chief executive officer and executive director of the company as at 17 November 2022. Resolve that Ms. Mohopong Tindisa is hereby retained as a chief financial officer and executive director of the company. Elections, re-elections, resignations, retirement of independent audit committee members, ordinary resolutions. Resolve that an audit committee comprising of independent audit committee members be and is hereby appointed in terms of Section 116. Resolve that the following members be retired as independent audit committee members, and it's noted, accepted and confirmed, Ms. Karen Parirenyatwa, Mr. Selo Makobela, Mr. Tabo Mongatana. Resolve that the following members be appointed as independent audit committee members, Tabo Kwela, Rochelle Danielle, Derek Martin, Nilson Koza, and resolve that the Board of Directors appoint the chairperson of the Audit Committee and any additional members to the Audit Committee at an ordinary board meeting of the company following the AGM of the 1st of March 2023. Thank you. Can I call all the appointed members to come on stage? Thanks.
We are now moving to Metro Bus.
Good afternoon, Program Director, Executive Mayor, CM, MMCs, and all protocols observed. I'm here to do the resolutions for the Johannesburg Metropolitan Bus Services. The resolutions read as follows. It is resolved that at the annual general meeting of the City of Johannesburg, the resignation and retirement and re-election of directors are as follows. It's resolved that the following be and are hereby retired as non-executive directors of the company: Yongama Pamla, Lita Mpogoto, Dr. Lawrence Koch, Sipiwe Zengwa, Simpiwe Mamvura, Tumelo Mlangeni, Glora Matusha, Dr. Olwetu Sibuka, and Judy Shiwandlana. It is also resolved that Chanel Stevens be and is hereby appointed as the chairperson of the board until the next AGM, subject to the maximum renewal terms as set out in the City of Johannesburg shareholder policy on governance of the group advisory committees, municipal entities, the board of directors, and independent audit committees. It is also resolved that the following directors be and are hereby appointed to form the board of directors in terms of Section 66 of the Companies Act. The appointment is until the next AGM, subject to the maximum renewable terms set out in the City of Johannesburg shareholder policy on governance of group advisory committees, municipal entity, boards of directors, and independent audit committee members. The following are appointed: Chanel Stevens, Lemarco Marcel Michel, Charlie Peterson, Kanya Sitebe, Hien Duren, Patricia Jacobs, Sharfa Prinsloo, Tiffany Stacy Armsa, Jacqueline Scott, Lungisile Mkhize, Pons Peterson. Mr. Luanda Kidini, who's the acting MD, Executive Director, and Mr. Patrick Mataneri, Executive Director, acting CFO. Election, re-election, resignation, and retirement of independent audit committee members. It is resolved that the following be and are hereby retired as independent audit committee members of the company: Rifile Morojana, Kiabeto Reuters. It is also resolved that the resignation of Zuko Maponya on 18 March 2022 as the independent audit committee member of the company be noted and confirmed. It is resolved that the following be and are hereby appointed as independent audit committee members of the company until the next AGM, subject to the renewable terms as set out in the City of Johannesburg Group Shareholder Policy on governance of group advisory committees, municipal entities of board directors, independent audit committees. It is Michelle Porter, Joshua Ferrer, Wayne Buckley, Gloria Matusha. It is resolved that the audit committee comprising of independent non-executive directors and independent audit committee members be and is hereby appointed in terms of Section 166 of the Local Government Municipal Finance Management Act 56 of 2003 and Section 994(2) of Companies Act 71 of 2008 to hold office until, and the duties are stipulated in Section 116 of the Local Government Municipal Finance Act of 56, 2003, Section 94, subsection 7 of the Companies Act, and in terms of King 4, as well as such other duties and responsibilities as may form from time to time be delegated to it by the board. It is resolved that the board appoints the chairperson of the audit committee and any additional members to the audit committee at the ordinary board meeting of the company following the annual general meeting held on the 1st of March 2023. Thank you. May I request the board members and the executive directors to join us on stage. Thank you.
We are now moving to development planning. MMC Mgcina, COSEC for JDA.
Thanks, buddy. Okay. Executive Mayor, MMCs, councillors, city manager, and distinguished guests, I salute you. In addition to the resolutions read earlier by Ms. Samantha Partha, the rest of JDA's resolutions read as follows. I will just summarize the key ones. The first resolutions relate to the resignation and retirement of directors. So the following directors are hereby retired as NEDs of the company, and they read as follows. It's Mr. Lionel Brenner, the outgoing chairperson, Dr. Lindelani Baldwin Matidze, Ms. Anshan Dreyer, Mr. Mtobisi Malinga, Dr. Wellington Twala, Dr. Christopher Whittle, Advocate Neon Tengani, and Mr. Ntona Marota. And the next resolution relates to the election and appointment of the new composition of the Board of Directors. And the following directors are appointed. Starting with the incoming Board Chairperson, Daliwe Oliphant, Malihilda Mukwena, Mongezi Ntanga, Moresi Tanga Ramonyai, Nandi Pabjuti Zonela, Bruce Lerato Sarila, Masiba Mujapelo, Pinky Zanelo Numa, Fukile Hamilton Hlongwa, Justice Mukoko Mohanye, or excuse me, I think it's Mahonye, Siyabonga Msiza, with the Executive Director, ex officio, Mr. Muhema Mongane, the Chief Executive Officer. And then the next resolution related to the resignations and retirement of independent audit committee members. and it reads as follows. So the following independent audit committee members are hereby retired, starting with Ms. Nozi Pongaka, Mr. John Mendelston, and Mr. Kwena Mashiani. And the last resolution relates to the election of independent audit committee members. And those IAC members are as follows: Sivuyile Mdawe, Patrick Sidwell Libopa, Tsepo Nawane, and Mr. Ntangeni Mulobezi. I thank you and those independent audit committee members as well as in NEDs, if they can approach the stage for the photo shoot. Thank you.
Thank you, MMC Mgcina. We are now moving to Environment, Infrastructure and Service Department. And may I invite MMC Squaila. We'll start with City Power. Mark Smith.
I thought you're supposed to start with water. You're supposed to start with water.
Which one?
Joburg water.
No.
Thanks. Good afternoon, Executive Mayor, MMCs, City Manager, Board members. I will now read the resolutions relating to the election, re-election, resignation and retirement of directors and independent audit committee members. Retirements of directors, ordinary resolutions. Resolved that the retirement of the following board members on 1st March 2023 as non-executive directors of the company be and is hereby noted, accepted and confirmed. Ambassador Douglas Gibson, Mr. Julian Duplessis, Mr. Dennis Hunt, Ms. Pamela Mabiki, Makatu Mello, Bangani Mapakhalani. Resignations of directors, ordinary resolutions. Resolved that the resignations of Mr. Jojozi Mbolelo, on 30 August 2022 as a non-executive director of the company, and Mr. Mongezi Nsokolo as an executive director of the company on 31st May 2022, and Ms. Funi Kolu as an executive director of the company effective from 30 June 2022 be noted and confirmed. Re-election of directors. Resolved that the following board members who are due for retirement but are eligible and available for re-election be and is hereby elected as non-executive directors of the company as approved by the Mayoral Committee on 1st March 2023. Renewal of terms as set out in the City of Johannesburg Group Shareholder Policy on Governance of the Group Advisory Committees, Municipal Entities, Boards of Directors and Independent Audit Committees, dated 2021. Mr. Naledi Hope, Ms. Margin Mashabela. Election of directors. Resolved that the following are hereby appointed as non-executive directors of the company as approved by the Mayoral Committee on 1st March 2023 until the next AGM or special general meeting, subject to a maximum renewable terms as set out in the City of Johannesburg Group Shareholder Policy on Governance of Group Advisory Committees, Municipal Entity Boards of Directors and Independent Audit Committee, dated 2021. Mr. Bonolo Ramogele, who is also appointed as chairperson of the board. Lufunu Rasiko, Ntombi Zonke Vilakazi, Dwa Batuana Damoyi, Mandla Siopela, Ntobele Ramotebele, Big Boy Kahana, Sibosiso Nduma, Praise Raginanma. Ordinary resolution resolved that the appointment of Ms. Shafalaro Mashava as an executive director of the company effective from 15 August 2022 be noted and confirmed. Election and re-election, resignation and retirement of independent audit committee members. Retirement of independent audit committee members. Resolved that the retirement of Ms. Jabulili Dlamini on 1st March 2023 as an independent audit committee member of the company be and is hereby noted, accepted and confirmed. Resignations of independent audit committee members. Resolved that the resignations of Mr. Protest Philly on 5th September 2022 and Mr. Abitao on 21 November 22 as independent audit committee members of the company be noted and confirmed. Election of independent audit committee members. Ordinary resolutions. Resolved that the following are hereby appointed as independent audit committee members of the company as approved by the Mayoral Committee on the 1st of March 2023 until the next AGM or special general meeting, subject to the maximum renewable terms as set out in the City of Johannesburg Group Shareholder Policy on Governance of the Group Advisory Committees, Municipal Entities of Boards of Directors and Independent Audit Committee members, dated 2021. Matsediso Modise, Avela Banda, Mtsi Modise, Sakile Mlawazi. Thank you.
They must come and join you. You didn't invite anyone?
The existing board members and my board chair, the new board chairs here.
May all new board members and IACs come on stage, please. No, when I get now. Johannesburg Quarter.
Executive Mayor, MMCs, City Manager, Board Members, and colleagues, reading the resolution for Johannesburg Water. Resolutions relating to the retirement, resignation, election, re-election of directors and independent audit committee members. Resolved that the following be and are hereby retired as non-executive directors of the company: Rachel Kalidas, Professor Clinton Abwaba, Petros Maji, Lebogang Ledwaba, Thabo Sakasa, Mavungu Ramorunzi, and Philemon Mashoko. Resolved that the resignation of Lungile Zulu as a non-executive director of the company effective from 20 April 2022 be noted, accepted, and confirmed. Resolved that the following directors be and are hereby appointed and reappointed to form the board of directors in terms of Section 66 of the Companies Act to hold office until the 2023-2024 annual AGM: Gugu Phakathi, Phetule Mudika, Siyabonga Mthembu, Zandile Meleso, Pholoso Majele, Khaile Mogoye, Sandiso Ngengwana, Molate Mashifani, Pamela Mabete, Lunga Bernard, Spamandla Mnyani, and the two executive directors, Nchabeno Mugwebo, who is the managing director, and Johan Kukemuru, who is the financial director. Resolved that Ms. Gugu Phakathi be and is hereby appointed as the chairperson of the board to hold office until the 2023-2024 annual general meeting, or until the next special general meeting of the company, whichever occurs first. Resolved that the following be and are hereby retired as independent audit committee members of the company: Professor Shamila Singh, Masiqole Mrwebi, Kasim Tili. Resolved that the following be and are hereby appointed as independent audit committee members of the company until the 2023-2024 annual general meeting, or until the next special general meeting of the company, whichever occurs first, pursuant to Section 166(5) of the Local Government Municipal Finance Management Act: Colin Sambo, Solipoe, Matsidiso Modise, and Justice Masibi. Resolved that the following Resolved that the board members appoints the chairperson of the audit committee and any additional member of the audit and risk committee as at the ordinary board meeting of the company following the annual general meeting of the 1st of March 2023. Thank you. May I request all the appointed members, including the financial director and the managing director, to join.
Thank you, Advocate.
Pick it up.
Good afternoon, distinguished guests. Ladies and gentlemen, I'll be reading out the Pick It Up resolutions. I will begin with the retirement of non-executive directors. It is hereby resolved that the following directors be hereby retired: Jacques Snyman, Natalie Schiepers, Nolitando Msibi Polwane, Mashilo Nchabeleng, Ronnie Mulaudzi, Sydney Siane, Robin Dynison, Snowy Makudu, and lastly Yvonne Mutswai. I will read out the resolution related to the appointment of non-executive directors. It is hereby resolved that the following non-executive directors of the company be appointed from the 1st of March 2023. Maxwell Nzamba, appointed as an NED as well as the chairperson of the board. Tabiso Kutumela, Thabo Mokoena, Maliwa Khadebe, Sheshile Nkwanyana, Dineo Sithole, Pangani Mpangalesane, Ndibuo Sibuka, Marvelous Ndlovu, Success Maruta, and Simon Shai. It is hereby resolved that the appointment of Bukelwa Njingolo as the Managing Director of the company, effective from the 2nd of December 2019, be hereby noted and confirmed. I will now read out the resolutions related to independent audit committee members, and I will start with retirements and resignations. It is hereby resolved that the resignation of Lebogang Sinne on 11 October 2022 as an independent audit committee member of the company be noted and confirmed, and that the following members be retired: Loasi Mtetwa, Samkelo Malobe. I will then read the resolutions relating to the appointment of independent audit committee members. It is resolved that Sipo Sibeko, Sadija Gafour, Eugenia Mutloung, Sishoka Muila be hereby appointed as independent audit committee members of the company until the next AGM or until the next special general meeting, whichever comes first. I thank you, and I'd like to call upon all the NEDs and IACs that have been appointed and are here today up on stage.
Thank you, MMC. We are now moving to community development portfolio. And MMC Makwenchu will start with City Parks and Zoo, COSAC. This one is covered. It's Chatham, Umbeko.
Not with me, I think. These are the new ones.
Yeah,
Are you fine? Can I start? Huh? Yeah, that we check.
The HSCPs are trust.
No. That's fine, it's the same list. Wait, where did you get? Oh, no. We don't have it. Oh, we do. Fine. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. All protocols observed. I'm here to read the resolutions for Johannesburg City Parks and Zoo. With respect to the ordinary resolutions, appointment, retirement, and re-election of directors, it is resolved that Mr. Charlie Fred Kane be and is hereby retired as a non-executive director and chairperson of the board of directors. 2, it is resolved that the following be and are hereby retired as non-executive directors of the company. They are Dr. Owen Howard, Dr. Enos Sitole, Mr. Kadir Shogel, Mr. Brian Chaplock, Dr. Moffat Jassy, Mr. Claude Basside, Mr. Frederick Victor Ligeti, Mrs. Pons Peterson. 3, it is hereby resolved that Ms. Vuyokazi Mjoli is hereby appointed as a non-executive director and the chairperson of the board of directors until the 2022-23 AGM or until the next general meeting of the shareholder, whichever occurs first. 4, it is hereby resolved the following be and are hereby appointed to the board of directors of Johannesburg City Parks and Zoo in terms of Section 66 of the Companies Act to hold office for a period of 1 year or until the next annual general meeting and or next general meeting of the shareholder, whichever occurs first, and to perform the duties and responsibilities as stipulated in the Companies Act, the Municipal Finance Management Act, the Municipal Systems Act, as well as King 4 report. And they are Vuyokazi Mjoli, Rabone Moripe, Andile Jabavu, Mbulelo Fitla, Craig Davids, Yongama Zingebe, Ayanda Hlachwayo, Simpiwe Mnisi, Dimakatso Mabuza, John Madela, Yongama Nyalambisa, Mr. Brian Maduka as an executive director and managing director of the entity, and Mr. Floyd Rikotso as the chief financial officer as well as an executive director. With regards to the appointment, retirement, and re-election of independent audit committee members, it is resolved that the following be and are hereby retired as independent audit committee members of the company, and they are Mr. Mpaga Manala, Mr. Stembile Gift Luti, and Ms. Emma Lecheko. It is resolved that the following be and are hereby appointed as independent audit committee members to hold office for a period of 1 year or until the next annual general meeting and/or general meeting of the shareholder, whichever occurs first, pursuant to Section 1165 of the Municipal Finance Management Act. And they are Tabang Khabana Khosi, Mbonele, Ndlangisa, Mampitseng Botsi Tulare, and Lizo Makele. It is further resolved that the Board of Directors appoints a chairperson of the Audit, Risk and ICT Governance Committee and any additional members of the Audit Committee, and advise the shareholder of such appointments after the first board meeting of the company following this annual general meeting. It is resolved that the appointment of the non-executive directors and the independent audit committee members are as approved by the Mayoral Committee, which sat on the 1st of March 2023, is for a period of 3 years, renewable every 12 months, at the discretion of the shareholder or until the next AGM and/or special general meeting, subject to the maximum renewable terms as set out in the City of Johannesburg Group Shareholder Policy on governance of the group advisory committees, municipal entities, Board of Directors and independent audit committee members. Special resolution. It is resolved that the Johannesburg Zoo should remain as a shelf company, as all its functions were transferred to the Johannesburg City Parks, and that the Johannesburg City Parks Board of Directors, as well as the Audit Committee, be and are hereby appointed to caretake all the business of the Johannesburg Zoo. Thank you, and may I invite all the newly appointed board members, as well as our CFO and MD, to the stage. Thank you.
Thanks, Sina. Joburg City Theatres, COSAC.
Speaker of Council, Executive Mayor, MMCs, CEOs, MDs, COJ colleagues, a very good afternoon to you all. The resolutions for Joburg City Theatres are as follows. We, the City of Joburg, as a sole shareholder of the company, entitled to attend and vote at an annual general meeting of the company, duly represented by the undersigned, have at the 22nd annual general meeting of the shareholder held at Rudaport Theatre on Wednesday, 1 March 2023, passed the following ordinary resolutions. Waiving of minimum notice of the meeting, resolved that the minimum notice for calling of the annual general meeting of 1 March, as required by the Companies Act, be and is hereby waived. Acceptance of the 2021-2022 annual financial statement, as well as the audit's report and the director's report. Ordinary resolution 2, resolve that the audited annual financial statements of Joburg Theatre for the year ended 30 June 2022, including the director's report and report of the auditors and the report of the audit committee thereon, be and are hereby received and accepted, subject to section 129 of the MFMA, waiving of minimum notice of the requirement of the retirement of directors. Resolve that the minimum notice for the retirement of directors be and is hereby waived. Resolve that the resignation on the election, re-election, resignation, and retirement of directors. Resolve that the resignation of Mr. Sean Crash, a non-executive director of the company, on 1 August 2022 is hereby accepted. Resolved that the following non-executive directors have been retired: Ms. Dineos Tole Majavu, Mr. Zain Mias as non-executive director and board chairperson, Mr. Jabu Hlongwane, Ms. Ashley Hayden, Mr. Jabu Matebula, and Ms. Itumeleng Malope. Resolved that the following independent audit committee members be hereby retired: Mr. Christian Sakdev, Mr. Ndicheni Chivalani, Mr. Nikelo Mazwane. Resolved that the following are hereby appointed as independent audit committee members: Peter Hame, Elphas Muhauli or Muhaudi, Sarika Singh, and Vincent Tolle. Resolved that a board of directors comprising of 11 directors set out below is hereby appointed in terms of the Companies Act to hold office for a period of 1 year or until the next annual general meeting. Mr. Godfrey Katsama is non-executive director and board chairperson. Ms. Bonga Kweyama, Orapeleng Rumahaha, Delisiwe Mabena, Lufuno Mdau, Ben Mutopi, Tembinko Simbeda, Pamela Ndlovu, Zianda Mkanka, Tapelo Chokobane, Joanna Mapeko. Resolved that the appointment of Ms. X Duneni as the Chief Executive Officer, as an Executive Director of the company, effective from 1 March 2023, be noted and confirmed. Resolved that the appointment of Mr. S. Mpakati, Chief Financial Officer, as an Executive Director of the company, effective from 1 March, be noted and confirmed. Resolved that the Board of Directors appoints a chairperson of the Audit Committee and any additional members to the Audit Committee and advise the shareholder of such appointments after the first board meeting of the company following today's AGM. Resolved that the remuneration of the directors and independent audit committee members of the company for the year ended 30 June 2023 be in accordance with the COJ Municipalities Policy on Remuneration of Directors is hereby noted and accepted. Resolved that the remuneration of non-executive directors and independent audit committee members for the year ended 30 June 2022 be paid in accordance with the COJ policy. Resolved that the Auditor General of South Africa be and is hereby reappointed as the auditor of the company for the financial year ending 30 June 2023. Resolved that the Board of Directors of the company be and is hereby authorized to approve the audit fees payable to the Auditor General of South Africa for the year ended 30 June 2023. I thank you. If members can come through CFO and CEO of the company. Thank you. How are you? I'm good, and yourself? Yeah.
Good. Perfect. I see, look, see. Thank you very much. We are now moving to group advisory committees. Ngosi? Is it Nombulelo? Okay. Nombulelo is going to read all the resolutions that relates to group advisory committees. That's the group audit committee, group performance audit committee, group risk governance committee, smart city, group advisory on recovery, economic recovery, all of them. And then as you call their names, may they approach the stage, please. Thank you.
Thank you, Program Director. Good afternoon, Executive Mayor, MMCs and colleagues. As mentioned, I'm going to read the shareholder resolutions in relation to the group advisory committees. Starting with the Group Audit Committee, Resolution 1, that the retirement of the following Group Audit Committee member be and is hereby noted and confirmed. Mr. Lerato Nage. 2, that the following members have been appointed or reappointed to the Group Audit Committee for a period of 3 years, subject to annual review. Solomon Mukhase, Mpho Sidibe, Ayanda Ncho, Mpho Mtsi, Lungelwa Sonrishe, Tumi Ramunutsi, and Tivali Ramawa. 3, that Solomon Mukhase be and is hereby appointed as the chairperson of the Group Audit Committee. In terms of the Group Performance Audit Committee, the resolutions of the Group Performance Audit Committee read as follows: that the retirement of the following Group Performance Audit Committee members be and is hereby noted and confirmed. Sinesipho Maninjwa, Hlobisile Gugu Vilakazi, and Sihlon Ndlovu. 2, that the following members have been appointed or reappointed to the Group Performance Audit Committee for a period of 3 years, subject to annual review. Griffith Zabala, Themba Maseko, Toivo Muhofe, Neon Tingane, Sandili Peterson, Joyce Piri, and Moiponi Komane. 3, that Griffith Zabala be and is hereby appointed as the chairperson of the Group Performance Audit Committee. In terms of the Group Risk Governance Committee, 1, that the retirement of the following Group Risk Governance Committee members be and is hereby noted and confirmed. Reginald Thomas Haman, Mduduzi Madlala, Brandon Graham Maseti, Kahisho Chuenyana. 2, that the following members have been appointed or reappointed to the Group Risk Governance Committee for a period of 3 years, subject to annual review. Mtobi Simalinga, Pumla Mzizi, Karabo Muluku, Pascal Muloyi, Gumani Chumomola, Shamila Sai, and Tandega Shongwe. 3, that Pascal Muloyi be and is hereby appointed as the chairperson of the Group Risk Governance Committee. In terms of the Smart City Advisory Committee, 1, that the following members have been appointed to the Smart City Advisory Committee for a period of 3 years, subject to annual review. Kevin Phahla, Mbuso Phoswa, Victor Mhlanga, Wellington Twala, Tahir Maiba, Rabelani Dagada, and Matsila Bansi. 2, that Kevin Phahla be and is hereby appointed as the chairperson of the Smart City Advisory Committee. And the last committee is the Economic Recovery Committee. 1, that the following members have been appointed to the Economic Recovery Advisory Committee for a period of 3 years, subject to annual review. Dietla Dichaba, Tilti Clotilde Ndleleni, Yake Kwinana, Vincent Masucha, Peshe Yaduma, Nandi Elenyani, and Cheni Dylan Chishabani. Those are the end of the resolutions. Over to you, Madam Director.
Dieter is the chairperson.
Okay, we've just gotten confirmation that Diatle Dichaba B and is hereby appointed as the chairperson of the Economic Recovery Advisory Committee.
And ask him to come on stage.
Thank you. If the newly appointed members and returning members could please come to the stage.
Thank you. Executive Mayor, it is a privilege to be given a task to facilitate this session on your behalf as the chairperson of the 22nd Annual General Meeting. Thank you, EM. I would like to once again apologize for the delay earlier on. Please forgive us. The third announcement is that we are going to have the boards, IACs, and the GACs induction on the 15th of March 2022. The details will be provided in due course, and you'll be inducted on a number of governing instruments such as the city planning processes, the IDP, the GDS 2040, the governance framework, the special development framework, the combined assurance framework, and others. So we are looking forward to see you on the 15th of March. On that note, it brings us to the end of the program, and I would like to invite the city manager to give us the vote of thanks and closure.
Ladies and gentlemen, Speaker in absentia, Executive Mayor, MMCs, our member from Provincial Legislature, all councillors, our newly appointed board members, our executive, chief executive officers, MDs, colleagues, thank you very much. I wouldn't want to keep you here much longer. Let me take this opportunity to thank you once more for making time available for coming out here today. Our hope is in you. Please do not forget the pic and that presentation that we made where we said we will need you more than what you will need us. It's a relationship that we need to form here. We need to take the city of Johannesburg forward. We need to rebuild it. And we do know that we do have challenges out there. So let's go out there. Let's hit the ground running. I always say to the officials in the city, we should be able to change the tire of a vehicle whilst it's still in motion. And that is what we would want to see. Let me take this opportunity, Program Director, to thank you as well, and all of those that made time to come through today. Thank you very much, and all the best.
Thank you.